Right now, a third of one South Asian nation is underwater, and 3,800 miles away, more than 6 million people are displaced within their own country because of a now 6-month-old war. Californians are stepping into the middle of both of those disasters with help and hope. I am live now with Carrie Murray, president of ShelterBox USA, which is based in Santa Barbara. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. More than 1 million people have been displaced in Pakistan, as that country has recently been ravaged by floodwaters. 116 of 160 districts in the country affected. Your organization has just deployed an emergency team to the region and launched an emergency fundraising appeal. How will the team and the dollars raised be used?
So ShelterBox is a humanitarian relief organization that is preparing every day for the worst day ever. And in the case of Pakistan right now, we see 33 million people who've been affected, 1 million people displaced, and they just need the basic needs. So we're hearing reports, it's food, it's clean water, and it's shelter. ShelterBox provides emergency shelter and essential items in the aftermath of losing everything. And what we're seeing is a third of this country is underwater. So ShelterBox has responded with the emergency response team. They are arriving in country this week. They will begin coordinating with our local partners. That's Rotary and other local humanitarian partners on an emergency shelter response. We're thinking about everything from emergency shelter kits to create a temporary home for people who've been displaced, to basic things like water purification because they need clean water, essential things like cook sets, blankets. So the immediate steps is assessing the need. And we know that it's just been a massive part of the population that's been affected. So we are going to go on the ground and work to meet the immediate needs of these families who have literally lost everything.
ShelterBox, as you've just been describing, specializes in providing emergency shelter and other essentials to families left in crisis by man-made conflicts or natural disasters. I understand that you had some assets pre-positioned in that area. Is that something you just do all over the world, or because you've had to step into a flooding situation in Pakistan before, 12 years ago?
Yes, so we responded. One of our biggest flooding responses was actually back in 2010. And the prime minister now is saying in Pakistan that this is the worst flooding in the country's history. So yes, we are a model of pre-positioning. We pre-position everything from things like tarpaulins, shelter kits, to the shelter boxes you're seeing there with things like tents and blankets and water purification, solar lights. So we stage and pre-position items across the world, particularly in areas that are endemic to big disasters. But in addition to disasters, we are also responding to some of the world's worst conflict as well. So in conflict zones across our world, including Ukraine, we're also responding with emergency shelter and essential items to help families who've been displaced.
Let's talk more about that. I last chatted with someone from ShelterBox back in April, and at that time, Stephanie Christensen was on the ground for your group in Moldova. That country, one of Europe's poorest and most isolated, but at that time was receiving the highest number of refugees per capita due to the war in Ukraine. Tell me about your efforts to help the Ukrainian people now that Russia's invasion there is 6 months old.
Yeah, so we're 6 months into the war and the humanitarian needs remain high, and particularly the needs around shelter. So we've seen this massive wave of displacement, over 12 million people who've now been displaced both internally within Ukraine as well as people who fled, refugees, to neighboring countries, including Moldova. So what we've done at ShelterBox is we're responding to both needs, the immediate needs of people internally displaced, and that is shelter kits to repair homes that have been bombed so people can temporarily shelter in place. It's things like hygiene packs, it's mattresses so there's a place to sleep for those who've been displaced from their home and they're sleeping in evacuation centers or collective centers. We're also helping families who've been forced to flee their country. And so it's basic things there like hygiene packs for these families. It's multi-purpose cash allotments so they can access basic things like food and medicine. So again, a very different type of response than you'll see us mounting in Pakistan. But again, the purpose is to help people who've been forced from their homes in an instant. And that's what we do every day at ShelterBox in both some of the world's worst disaster situations, but conflict zones as well.
And we are almost out of time. So just quickly, you're talking about massive effort. So people are going to be wondering, do you do this just based on the generosity of people donating for all the world? Where does the money come from to get this done?
The only way we do this work is private charitable support. And it's people who see this, now Pakistan on the news, who really want to do something to help people that they may never meet in their lifetime, but whose life they can absolutely transform. And this work is because of generous supporters. So if you feel so compelled, on our website, shelterboxusa.org, there are ways to get involved, from volunteering to making a charitable donation. So we are so appreciative of the support, and boy, do we need it right now.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. A lot of people, these situations that happen across the world make folks feel pretty helpless. They can't maybe join one of these deployment teams, but definitely they could check out your website and perhaps give to your cause. We appreciate you.
Thank you.